Hi, Caspar on the 8th of March 2018. I've decided to do a series of videos of sort of, update tasting notes of wines we've sold in the past, and just to let people know how they're doing. A number of you will have some of these wines in your collections and might want to just hear a little bit about what state they're in, how advanced they are, state of maturity. So I've been using my Coravin. I picked up a load of wines from my own portfolio from Octavian the other day. I've been using my Coravin. So Coravin, you'll probably know, is a device that sticks a needle down through the cork of a bottle of wine, extracts sample and tops it up with a bit of argon gas. So effectively you can have, gosh, if you want, a glass of wine every 6 months, for over several years before the bottle's empty, and the last glass should come out in as good condition as the first glass. Interesting thing, but it has allowed me to do this. Taste a glass. There it is. 2008 Barolo Ginestra from Paolo Conterno. I loved it when I first tasted it. I was interested to see how it was getting on, and it's a deep colour. I mean, Nebbiolo, you tend to think, as with Pinot Noir, that it's not a particularly deeply coloured wine, but this really is quite intensely coloured, and it's still remarkably ruby. And again, I tend to think of Nebbiolo as a grape that loses its colour fairly easily. It goes in extraordinary colour, Nebbiolo, sort of rose gold colour, very sort of yellow tints to it when it's mature. But this seems to have hardly budged at all in colour wise. And the nose is quite reserved as well. It's got a sort of fresh, it's clearly fresh now. Hints of almond and little bit of licorice, but it's really holding itself back. I've tapped this off about 5 minutes ago, so hasn't really had a lot of chance for the air to get into it. So not a lot going on the nose about it. Let's have a sip. Crikey, well, that's a big, rich mouthful of Nebbiolo. This is assertive, masculine Barolo, and a serious mouthful of wine. It's big, it's rich. It becomes rich with structure as well. Some pretty upright, fairly assertive tannins, and an enormous sort of swathe of minerals at the back, sort of sandy minerality. Just delicious, sort of dark plum, cherry, nice purity of fruit, a little bit of smokiness about palate and the nose, and that's opening up all the time. Actually, it's smoky. It's got dried herbs to it. Even sort of roasted herbs. I think it'll continue to sort of open up in the glass as I leave it, but it's a big wine. Goodness me! I mean, 2008. I don't think there's any particular hurry to drink this, I must say. I mean, it still comes across the colour, depth, the colour and the nose and palate, state of it just speaks of being a really quite a young wine, I must say. Big, fine grip that takes it into a really long thing in the mouth. Almond sort of quality to the tannins on the finish. That's super wine. There we are, Barolo, and the best thing is I can now stick it back in my wine rack, polish it off in, well, whenever I feel like it, really, anytime. But there we are, a bit of an update tasting note. let you know about the state of 2008 Barolo Ginestra from Paolo Conterno. Future looks rosy.